Hello, good afternoon. Myself Rajkumar. I'm working as a senior engineer in Pantech solution. So this workshop is about CR networks, which is under the 5G communication systems. Advancement have done on that. So it's under 5G communication. It is coming on. So on that about only we are going to talk in this session. Uh, uh, this session is in association with the KLN College of Engineering. So I warmly welcome the teachers and staffs and principal of the KLN College of Engineering. Mr. Ram Prasad will be making the first initial note for this workshop. So you can speak, sir.
Sir, am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir, I can hear you, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good afternoon to one and all present here. First of all, I would like to congratulate the Department of Electronics and Communication, the head of the department, the coordinator, Dr. Shanti, and other faculty members for associated with Pantech e-learning solutions and hosting this program. Dear participants, I think these kind of programs will really help us in updating the technology. Like the recent trend, you can see that 5G networks, that too in cognitive radios, being a communication engineer, I also could know about much about the importance of this 5G or 2G, 3G, the evolution of 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G, etc. So I think this cognitive radio networks, it plays a vital role in all the other sectors comparatively. So this program will be very much effective and it will be very much useful for the people, particularly the faculty area. But of course, generally the industry side, the people will be updated. But the recent technologies, the recent trend, that all the faculty side also should be ever updated in such a way to combat the necessity of the students or the requirement of the employers. So I think this kind of programs should be conducted every look and corner. Like when the technology is evolving, it is the greatest responsibility of the industry people to launch to the faculty member side also, or to the educational institutions also, which in turn will ultimately be delivered to the students. Those students are the next generation people who are going to work in the industry. So this entire network like Pantech e-learning solutions, particularly Mr. Rajkumar had taken much effort to deliver what is about the CR networks to the faculty members. That I said earlier, it is to be delivered to the educational sectors. Then ultimately, we the faculty members will obviously deliver to the students community or the budding engineers. Then in the next generation, when they come up after their graduation with such skill set, they will surely enter into a very good employer sector or employers, and also they will deliver their maximum efforts to the development of the technology as well as to the development of the society. So I wish this program could be a successful one. My dear participants, I hope I have heard also many participants from various parts of the countries also here. So this program will be very useful to you. And one more small request to all the participants is that please interact with the expert. That is the only way we can get more information from this program. But generally, some participants will hesitate to do that. But whenever I initiate or whenever I give an introduction note, I'm requesting every time the participants to interact with 100% or more than that to the experts. Then only the two sides of learning will occur, where the participants will also gain much from the experts. If you didn't ask anything about the program or about the lecture, then obviously it might be a one-way communication. Then obviously it won't be a success model. So I request again the participants to have a two-way communication mode in this entire program, and the coordinators should also felicitate for that. And I should personally thank for giving me this opportunity. And as a whole, on behalf of the institution and management and the Department of ECE, I feel very much proud to be with you in this fine afternoon. Thank you so much and all the best.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, actually, I'll start the session.
Yes.
Good afternoon. Today we'll be seeing about the communication systems growth initially, and the stages of growth like 1G, 2G, 3G, 5G, 4G communication, and how it's going to evolve in the 5G communication. So this is the session's overall ideology and how the 5G communication plans have been made, like methodologies and plans, because 5G communication is not going to happen in a single methodology. The methodology is followed in 5G communication is 4 plus 4 to 5. Like why I'm telling 4 to 5 methodologies means until 4G communication, they have planned with the requirements, and according to the requirements they have worked. If 1G communication, the requirement was a broadcast. So why it's a broadcast requirement was there means all the communication systems are defined in America initial stages. So if you consider in America initial stages, they have an emergency or like emergency situation, like for ambulance or fire services, or like FM stations or TV stations, all that working on a 1G communication. Because why I'm telling this a 1G communication, it's a broadcast system. Whatever they are doing, it's a broadcast. If you take walkie-talkie, it's a broadcast system. Why I'm telling these things means first communication, there was not a end user available. A frequency will be tuned. Like if you take a FM, like you consider like a Suryan FM or some any other FM stations, FM station we have to go and reach out means we have to tune for that particular frequency. Like 93.5 is the frequency means we have to reach out with the particular frequency only, then we can get the information. So likewise, if you take for the walkie-talkie, so walkie-talkie is also a low range communication region. Like there will be a small base station available in the local region that can be used for the communication between the source to destination. Mostly it is used by the policemen and other people who are using is like nowadays in the railways also they are using that one. Okay, so this is happening in the broadcast. Why I'm telling broadcast means walkie-talkie, if you consider walkie-talkie, you can ask like two receiver transmitters are there. One user can speak and another user can speak. Not like that. One walkie-talkie, if you're considering, all the frequency have been merged in a, sorry, all the users have been merged in a single frequency. Like if I'm making a information passed to a policeman means I'll be making like over as a statement at the end. Okay, so then only I can tell that the information I have passed this, like this person is going out, so we have to find the particular person. That information is passed means they have to use a code word over. So then only the user will know, other users will know the user has made a message, and we can start a new message. So this is a broadcast based communication. Okay, so here I have initiated with technology fields. What are the layers, like OSC layers? All we know that one only. So I have placed in the application level possibilities in that one. It's not a full-fledged application level possibility, but majorly I have given information what are the reach outs can be done. So like that, if you consider the application layer works on embedded systems and Java, and after the networking layer, it will be coming under the networking, like NS2 architectures and network protocol architecture. Network protocol creations only happening on the network layer, and finally signal processing layer will be coming on. Today we'll be working analyzing the signal processing layer only, because the signal processing layer, more people are not working in the signal processing layer. Why is the problem means a signal processing layer is highly industrial oriented. Okay, why I'm telling industrial oriented means it's all are running in a processor level processor level protocols, which is happening between a end device to end device. There won't be any application service, so much more users are not working on the communication system layer, like physical layer and data link layer. So today our analysis is going to happen with the data link layer and the physical layer. Okay, so if we take the physical layer, how it will be working means antenna designing, 5G antennas, how the 5G antenna designed, like how to make a multiple array of antennas, how to make enabling antenna and disabling an antenna, and how to make a MIMO process. Those things will be coming under on the physical layer. If data link area is considered, the protocols what we are defining, the 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G, and 5G is a protocol. So that protocols will be coming under data link layer. So these combined making the network a base station, device to device communication, because this is the end layer. Because with this layer only the communication is happening first of all. These layers, but that is not application layer, so more users are not available. So we are going to analyze these things only. Okay, so here I have placed the application layer possibilities and the signal processing, where and all it's have been evolved, like it is evolved in communication and image processing and antenna design and audio processing and video processing. But image processing, audio processing, video processing, both three are signal processing only, but it's not acknowledged with yes, communication systems. It is an application level, application layer protocol ideologies. Okay, so antenna design and communication only we are going to concentrate today. So first of all, you know all about communication layer. So communication layer will be having, so communication channel. Communication channel will be having guided and unguided, which mean wired and wireless. You might all hear this one, but I'm giving a base intro about this one. So communication wired will be having twisted coaxial and optical fiber. Optical fiber is giving more data, right? All we know, we are using the Wi-Fi in our home nowadays highly. After this lockdown, it has been increased too. And if you're taking wireless communication, the wireless communication, it's satellite based and terrestrial microwave and by broadcast radio. Broadcast radio, we already spoke. Like today, the broadcast radio is the only content we are going to analyze also. So like how the broadcast radio should work, because radio communication is only working on the real-time environment for a mobile services. Okay, other communication, if you are taking, all are not for mobile service possibilities. If you're taking satellite microwave, we can't able to use a satellite microwave phone to each device. It's not possible. I will explaining that one, why satellite phones cannot be enabled to for all the users. And terrestrial microwave, if you are taking terrestrial microwave, we are using for base station to base station communication. Like one base station is available means that base station can communicate with another base station. For the terrestrial microwave communication is mostly used. And broadcast radio is the only thing we are going to analyze by today. Okay, so first of all, if you want to know about 5G, you want to know about the what happening in the 1G, 2G, 3G, and how it is applied, why it is applied, those things. So first of all, we want to know about these four generations of wireless communication. First of all, I already explained about 1G. 1G is used for a broadcast communication, and when the 1G communication has done more things, after that the users need to be communicated with a one-to-one communication, which is called 2G communication. But the problem with 1G communication is we are using a frequency-based system. Okay, so if you have a multiple high number of users, we can't able to engage that one. What's the issue is exactly means more users cannot be engaged in the 1G. So what they did is they made a time division analysis. Like, okay, time division means in a single frequency we can make a multiple time slots, not like time slots like one user is speaking in the one time slot means the another user can acknowledge in the another time slot. But when you are using the phones, you can't able to get that information. Like we are speaking on not speaking on a synchronized manner, we are speaking on a synchronized manner, that field only will get. But the 2G communication will be having a time based analysis. What's the problem is we don't have that much frequency, so we want to enable frequency. So that only we made the TDMA process, so multiple users can communicate at a time. But with 1G to 2G, we evolved for mobile communication. But for 2G to 3G, when we evolving, why it's required, it was required means the thing is like when 2G to 3G we want to move, the 3G is why it is required means we need much more data rate. Okay, but the problem with 2G is it can enable up to 256 kb per second most data rate. Okay, why I'm telling 256 kb per second means you won't reach a 256 kb also on the 2G communication, but it will be allocated to the overall users in the base station. Okay, so in a particular bandwidth it can allocate 256 kb per second. Okay, so this is worked with the TDMA as a technology, and 256 kb per second can be achieved. That is achieved in the 8G technology, which is called 2.9G. The 2.9G is the maximum data rate achieved in that technology. So into 2G, the maximum outcome has been done in 2.9G. Why I'm telling it is 2.9G means after 2. When a technology is getting exhausted, the generation is named with a end value, so that only is named as 2.9G. So because of that, the 2G getting exhausted. Okay. Hello. Uh, Other people can please mute. So the 2G technology is working according to that one only. Okay. So when we are going to 3G technology, why 3G technology is required? First thing, first of all, we require 3G technology for uh, video calling and high data rate applications, and we want multiplayer gaming and all, and we are focused on high data rate. 2G is based on the requirement, but 3G is based on somewhat facilities based. Like we are getting grown, so we need some facilities requirements. On that base only 3G technology is defined. But that from 2G to 3G, when you are going, we are not using the same protocol. First of all, we used at the first time with the FDMA as a protocol, and with 2G we used TDMA as a protocol. And when we are going to 3G, it's not used with the same TDMA as a protocol. We want to shift to CDMA protocol. Why CDMA is required means, I can show with the, okay, this is a FDMA technology. It's fully based on frequency slot allocation. All the frequency slot were enabled for a user or a company. That company can use that frequency to telecast some information and get the information. That was FDMA. So next was TDMA, with the FDMA methodology only based. So here the frequency is slotted and the time slots is defined. So first time slot will be allocated to one user, means next time slot another user, next time slot another user. Okay, like that it is defined, so that only the frequency slots can be allocated for multiple users. In that also power is defined as same. If you see first thing here, a frequency is tuned, and next thing we are tuning the time. Next thing what we are doing is power should be tuned. So the CDMA technology, it's a power based ideology, like power we are going to tune, that's the ideology. So what they defined is we can change the power. So first of all, lower level power will be allocated for one user, and next level power and next level power, dB based only. Okay, so the dB allocation will be done according to the users will be done. If you see with the 2G technology, um, on the 2G technology period itself, the CDMA also get into account, but it is not used. You might see Tata Indicom and Reliance CDMA on that period of 2002 or 3. The CDMA was enabled on that period itself. It's enabled in the 2G technology itself, but the CDMA has improvised with a high bandwidth to use in the 3G. Okay, what is the why we didn't use with 2G on 2003 with the CDMA means, on that time all the mobiles were based on TDMA. Already TDMA has unleashed the Indian market. Okay, so on that time CDMA also brought into by Tata Indicom and Reliance. But what's the problem is, Reliance, when you are going to go into Reliance network, you have to buy a separate phone, because the technology is different, means the processor will be engaged with the different coding, so that that processor cannot be used for the TDMA technology. So you have to buy a new phone. For that only, Reliance on that period they have placed 500 rupees 2 phones. So on that period also they couldn't get the market. Why I'm telling the couldn't get the market means, already TDMA has taken the Indian market, and after that the new technology is coming. The technology is advanced only, but because the CDMA, if you think, the CDMA can broadcast data up to 10 kilometers, but the but with the TDMA it is lesser distance only, like 10 kilometers. I'm not giving a distance based, I'm giving a majorly we can achieve 10 kilometers as a distance. I'm telling you, because in signal processing there is no distance ideology, it's always power based. I'm giving for a application basis, I am giving ideology. Okay, so the CDMA having a higher idea possibility also, but we can't able to move because of that delay of the CDMA technology that has been enabled in India. So now the CDMA is improvised with high bandwidth. The bandwidth has, because when you are coming with CDMA onto 2G technology, it was about 1.25 megahertz of bandwidth allocated for the particular base station, but it's improvised in 5 megahertz up to so that is called WCDMA, widespread CDMA. So that has been enabled with 5 megahertz bandwidth in the WCDMA, which is called 3G. Okay, So nowadays we are using the 3G. The 3G can achieve up to 108 Mbps. It's not a theoretical one, it's a real time. With HSDPA we can achieve HSDPA plus, we can achieve up to 108 Mbps. You can ask, I didn't receive 3 in 3G, 3 Mbps above, but I'm not telling for a single user. It's for a base station level with particular megahertz, because when the users are increasing, automatically the base station will allocate the same spectrum for multiple users. So automatically the data rate will be decreasing on. So always you won't receive a high data rate. So maximum data rate with the achievability of CDMA technology is around 108 Mbps. Okay. So after 3G also, what's the problem we found is like the 3G battery discharging capacity is high. So because it's always works on power, so the antennas have to liberate more return loss. So with that, the battery draining capacity is higher. So the CDMA technology is moreover a changeover for the 2G technology, but it is not a fully changeover because of its deficiencies. Okay. So for that only we have to move with the OFDM. The OFDM technology is the it's a modification of FDMA only. What happened in the frequency division multiple access, that is only deposited in the 4G technology. So if you see here, OFDM, if you see, we are making a multiple small spectrums nearby. Okay. Why we are making multiple small spectrums means we can transmit small data in a small spectrum. You can ask, we are making a small spectrum, so God band will be there. How will you be making a God band? So that is the issue solved with OFDM. We are using a orthogonality, OFDM. So orthogonality means one signal is giving in a 90-degree phase shift, means the next signal will be in a, so first signal is going this like means the next signal will be starting over that next 90-degree phase shift. So what will be happening means due to this the time slot defining, automatically this signal won't be distorted with this signal, because we will be receiving based on the time slot only. This time slot I will be receiving for one user, this time slot I will be receiving for the next user. So this time differentiation will be provided. Due to that, the God band intervals can be eliminated. So that is the ideology of OFDM. So we are using a orthogonality terminology. With that we are going to receive. But even though we have some problems with OFDM also, because none of the technology will fulfill communication systems. Communication systems, even after 20 years, the research will be going on. Because there is no end for the communication systems, because there are lot of problems available in the communication systems. So that cannot be completed in years. So it will be going on. So any technology if you take, it will be having a problems, but with that technology problems we will be solving to make the technology enabling for the more people. Okay, that was the ideology. So here if you check with OFDM, it can work with multiple small spectrums, so that we can send more data. Like if you check for FDMA, if you are sending one user with one data means 1 bits per second, means you can send with multiple data here. So if you're sending the time slot to be decreased, again more decreased means you can send more data also. Okay, so with multiple signals within that one. So here if you see, we are sending 3 bits in the same time slot with this one. Okay, so here if you see three bits are there, here if you see only 1 bit. So we are increasing the data rate. Okay, so that is only the OFDMA concept. So God band's interval is negotiated with orthogonality. So with this we are using a geo. Okay, so geo with LTE. LTE is different concept and 4G is different concept. Anyone is asking LTEs and 4G are same, like that, if you are thinking, means both that is not same. Because 4G is working with OFDM as a technique, and LTE is a different technique which is added to make more possibilities. Okay, so when Airtel initially started with 4G, they started with only 3G plus LTE. Okay, so the LTE is the concept of 4G. We can join with any technology to make advancement on the technology also, because LTE is like a plug and play methodology. I'm giving for ideology. I'm telling you it's a plug and play method. Like LTE can be joined with the 4G also, 3G also, 2G also, 1G also. That's not a problem. But which technology we are enhancing? If you are using with OFDM with LTE, it's more advanced. Okay, so I will explain the LTE also for the upcoming slides. So you can get that one. I think. Here, if you see, this is the OFDM slide, which is making the data responsibility higher. If you check for a single channel with a high data rate, and considering this is a wideband channel, we are sending more data. And here narrowband channels we are creating with a small without God bands. And if one data is failed, all the data won't be failed. That is the advantage of this technology. I can explain you in a diagram. It will be more visible to you. Then you see in this slide, one user is getting data from multiple fading, like it is not received to the user directly. Okay, so there is a base station and there is a user. The user will get data from it will be faded due to the trees or buildings, any other things, and it will receive to the user. Okay, there might be a direct line of sight signal also. There might be a multiple faded signals also will be there. Okay, so due to that, the delay will be happening on the signal. Likewise, the signal data also will be distorted. Likewise, there will be a noise also, like which is called AWG and Gaussian noise. Hello. Please mute your.
Rajkumar sir, I think you have facility to mute all the participants. Participants, please mute yourselves.
So the fading will be happening with the because it's a non-line of sight communication. So the user can send the data with the fading only. So because the base station will be there will be multiple buildings. If you consider for a high-ended city like Chennai, means that there will be more buildings. Automatically, you can't able to get the signal with directly to the user. There will be fading will be obviously available. So due to that, fading will be happening. So due to that, automatically the signals will be delayed. Okay, so if you check, so due to that, if you check here, these information will be failed sometimes also due to the noise. Like if you are sending a 10 bits of data, like if you are making a phone call and you are sending on information, that 10 bits of data I'm considering. So if you have 4 bits of data, you can just consider. If I'm sending 4 bits of data on the single track, means if it is failed, means all the data should be failed. If you're considering with the OFDM technology, it won't be making a multiple data into a single channel. It will be making multiple small channels so that we can enable high data rate and with low loss. Okay, if the data is failed, means one single data will be only failed. Okay, so this is the solution identified to OFDM technology. You can ask me if you are using multiple channels, there will be fading, the delay criteria will be increased, right? Like that you can ask. Okay, yes, the delay criteria will be increased due to the multiple small channels. So that only we are using a God interval in the 4G technology. So God interval will be the signals all will be get into down to the user end, the receiver. After that, what it will do means it will move the first 25% of data from the signal. You can ask 25% of data, there might be information why you are removing. What will be happening in the original OFT methodology means the transmitter will send the original signal with the end of the 25% signal in the front. Okay, so what will be happening means if the signal is lost also, delayed also, we can achieve the exact data. We are removing the original data which is has same copy. Okay, we are making a prefix of the data. We are having a end data, we are boosting that into front. Okay, So if it is lost also, we won't be, that delay is happening also, we can remove it. So in this time period, this is the guard interval what I have estimated in that location. It's based on the location. I'm telling to 25% as a possibility maximum, but it can be tuned according to the location. Okay. So based on that, I have, this is made as a guard interval, and regards that only signal will be transmitted. Okay. So this is OFDM ideology. So OFDM methodology block diagram is this one. So automatically we'll be having an audio or video, something else. There will be a modulation scheme. Modulation, we will be having a lot different modulation like QAM, PAM. We are not using keying techniques. We are using advanced digital modulation techniques only. So QAM, PAM is mostly used, and with that we are using. We are going to serial to parallel conversion, and IFFT is done. IFFT is the because fast Fourier transformation, IFFT. Here inverse fast Fourier transformation is done. Why fast Fourier transformation is taken into account, you can ask, because if you consider the fast Fourier transformation formula is based on multiple channel technique only, like f of x into e power minus j 2 pi ft. Okay, so which makes f of x is the signal original data, and e power minus j 2 pi ft is the frequency tuned. So here 2 pi ft, we can tune the f for make multiple frequencies. Okay, so that is only the concentrated on the f of t. If you consider the summation of e power minus j2 pi ft, okay, that's a formula of IFFT into f of x. Okay, so here f of x is a message signal, and this is the channel we are providing. Can ask for a there will be a constant also. The constant is not a problem because it's a constant. So we can, these frequency tuning it will be done because this 2 pi ft is there. This f is the tuning factor in which frequency we are going to telecast. Okay, so like we are sending the frequency, like if you consider the 2G signal having a frequency about 900 megahertz. If you consider for 3G, it is 1008 megahertz. If you consider for 4G, in 4G in our country it is 2300 megahertz, like Airtel and Geo and other networks are using that 2300 megahertz only. But 4G technology is not allocated for only 2300 megahertz. It's allocated with multiple bandwidth worldwide. I can show in the upcoming slide regards that. So that frequencies will be taken into account here to make a 4G signal possible. So with that we can send the data and make a reception. Okay, so with that multiple channels can be enabled because of these fast Fourier transformation possibility. Okay, so that only I explained in this slide. So what I explained, it is mentioned in a diagrammatic manner. Okay, long-term evolution 4G. 4G is the 4G is already allocated to the OFDM. I'll explain that. For the LTE means long-term evolution. The long-term evolution, what is the ideology? What it means? Like long-term evolution. Before that, what are the words you heard? It might be a technical words. Now you are hearing a application-oriented word. It is a long-term evolution. So why they have mentioned is a long-term evolution means the future communication, all the things will be happening on internet, that we are living on that life only. And nowadays it's already started to make all things happening in the internet. After this lockdown, it is more improvised. So the long-term evolution is planned to that one only. What is happening now today, it's planned before 10 years. Okay, so long-term evolution solutions have been planned regards that only. Why, how the long-term evolution gives solutions, I will explain next slide. What LTE is doing means previously all the techniques will not use all the leveraging all the spectrum, but LTE will try to utilize all the spectrum. Like if you are in a Wi-Fi zone with a 2G network, the LTE will enable to start receive the data towards the Wi-Fi. Okay, so with the Wi-Fi also it will try to receive the data and it will try to receive the 2G also. So it will check the spectrum with both and it will get the information more. Like if you are taking 4G also, 4G, the OFDM is there, OFDM technology, it will combine the for both frequencies and ready to get the data. That like enablement is done with the long-term evolution. Why they are doing this one means that unused spectrums, how to utilize the unused spectrums. That is the ideology of LTE. Okay, so the unused spectrum, you just note down this word. This word only we are going to analyze in the upcoming slides. So LTE will be having MIMO technology and leverage hexanets, small cells will be there. Small cells means it is a Wi-Fi protocol enabled zones. Like small homes will be considered as a base station. So with that we can make a transmitter. Likewise, millimeter wave applications will be also defined in future. Millimeter wave application means which is defined on the in the homes. Each base station, millimeter base station will be placed over the every home, like every home, every building. Okay, so in every building there will be base station to receive the data. Normally millimeter frequency is like around 60 gigahertz. Okay, so that much frequency they are going to use for height for data transmission in future. That is also in there. And MIMO technology, you might hear like MIMO is like multiple input, multiple output, placing a base station and with the antennas with multiple antennas and receivers with multiple antennas. What actually receivers means mobile phones. Mobile phones where you are available, according to that antenna can be enabled. If you are in the left side of the room and the base station, the Wi-Fi router is available in the right side of the room, you can get the data from the right corner of the antenna. So the antenna will be identifying where the base station is available, and it will be moving towards that one. According to that, the signal will be reached. Okay, so the user experience throughput, how it got improvised with the LTE is shown. If you see, the lower data rate was available in the previous network topologies, and it has been improvised with LTE. Okay, so LTE is simply, if you are telling me, is long-term evolution, which means it's a base for the 5G. Okay, so the LTE has planned to aggregate all the frequencies which is related to 2G, 3G, 1G, all the technologies. If you consider here, if it's a 700 megahertz, it's a frequency band of TVs. Okay, which is utilized by LTE network. Okay, if you check for 800 megahertz, which is used for a GSM network, which is a 2G, which is usually utilized in America and the European countries, which is going to utilize with the LTE. And if you check for Indian frequency also, it is used like 900 megahertz. It's not mentioned here. That's also used because 850 plus, 850 plus which is mentioning the 900 megahertz frequency, because it's an 859 to 876 and 894 to it's 900 megahertz bandwidth. Okay, so after that 1900 megahertz bandwidth is utilized. If you check 1600 megahertz, which is L band, which is GPS band, which is 1615 is the GPS band, that is also utilized with the LTE. Okay, so the LTE is planning to aggregate all the frequencies. Okay, why they are planning to aggregate all the frequency means in the future technology for common radio there should be baseline. So we are creating the baseline with the LTE. Okay, so I'll explain the common radio, then you can get some information on that one. Plus, if you see, all the frequencies will be used with under 3 gigahertz. Okay, why I'm telling this one means we are flushed with the frequencies, because above 3 gigahertz when you are going, the frequency is going under multiple distortions. Okay, so the signal is not transmittable. So that only we are always using under 3 gigahertz. Okay, above 3 gigahertz is mostly used with satellite and microwave communications. Okay, because the satellite and above 3 gigahertz frequency all are used with all are distorted highly. Like a small building is also there, the signal won't boost to the next receiver, because it's all based on line of sight maximally. Okay, so we can't use in the local multiple multi-user carrier ideologies. Okay, so only radio waves we are following up, always using the 3 gigahertz. If you are going above 3 gigahertz, it's not usable. Okay, this is the allocation done by Qualcomm for each countries. It's not allocated to Qualcomm. The Qualcomm is only the, you know about Qualcomm, I think. Qualcomm is the manufacturer of all the mobile phones processor, like 4G, 3G, whatever it is coming. They are the definers. Okay, in Chennai they are having 2 offices also, like Qualcomm development center is there. In Chennai is also there, and Bangalore is also, it's also available. Qualcomm is the topmost definers. Like if you check for computer, Intel, likewise Qualcomm is for mobile phones. All the mobile phones, even it is Apple, even it is Samsung, even it is Micromax or any like MI or any brands, all the processor chips with modems are made with Qualcomm only. Okay, so Qualcomm defined the frequency spectrum for LTE is defined here. Okay, it's major countries has been mentioned here. Okay, and here is the unlicensed and licensed spectrum. Unlicensed means which is Wi-Fi and it's unlicensed spectrum, and licensed spectrum means if other than that 3 GHz will be licensed spectrum. Okay, and TDD and FDD is the technologies used in OFDM. So MIMO beamforming is a technology with multiple antenna. I already used to tell that one. So multiple antennas to reach a user. Okay, so how to make whenever a user is available with the laptop in the one corner of the room, signal should be received. Like this, a user might be using a phone at the another end. So according to that, the antenna should be switching off, switching on, and it should telecast the information to the user. So it's locating, trying to locate the user and trying to send the information according to that one. Okay. Before going to CRN, I'll show you some video, so you'll get some information. It's not a educational video. It's educational video, but
One day, Basil takes his dog Pepper for a walk at the marketplace. Basil needs to buy a new collar for Pepper. While Basil is not paying attention, Pepper wanders off. He finds an enchanting collar on the ground. The imperial servant assumes Pepper is one of the princess's many pets and lifts it into the carriage. When Basil sees what's happening, it's already too late. He is not allowed to use the imperial lane because of the strict traffic rules. This is in fact exactly how wireless communication works today. Mobile devices are only allowed to use certain frequencies.
This mentions the frequency, how it is working. This is a video done by Nokia for communication systems. All the technology using mobile communication spectrum only, but other spectrums are unused. Okay, if you consider the TV channel, it's easy. TV channel only, the TV spectrum will be used for a particular locations. Always it's not used. Okay, it's allocated for a wired communication media, and which is not allocated to other users. It's a free thing. Okay, likewise emergency and like military communication or prime minister's communication, that's also it's free in usage. Likewise for medical, like 108 and 100, those things also which is used in a free, because it's not always occupied. Likewise, if you get the satellite communication spectrum, that is not also used always. Okay, that's mentioned over here.
Which are getting crowded. New music and video services on the internet require far more bandwidth than is available for the current networks. With cognitive radio technology, we can use all available frequencies, even those dedicated to TV or satellites. The intelligent devices negotiate in order to use the whole radio spectrum in the most efficient way. This way, we can multiply the current network speeds. Basil arrives at the town gates. But to enter the town, he has to fill in a stack of forms. He has no time for this kind of nonsense. But hey, what's that guy doing there? He's filling out all the forms just by the push of a button. With cognitive radio, you can easily control and verify your identity both online and offline in one simple step.
Actually, the thing like the data transmission all will be happening with a single source. So the data will be processed the single server ideology. So only Count Radio is mentioning that one here.
For instance, when you move, you could redirect your mail, subscribe to electricity, gas and water, enroll your children at a school, and even register to vote, all at the same time.
This is showing the IoT technology because in future all will be enabled with IoT. So on that situation, how the count radio will be used, that is mentioned here.
Although your device is capable of connecting with any institution, you would still be in charge of the information you choose to share. Basil comes across a billboard advertising an event at the arena. He can't understand the language, but the radio-enabled billboard sends his handset the information he needs, which he then shares with his friends. By the word radio, we mean any kind of wireless communication. At the moment, radios can communicate only with other radios of the same kind. Radio, we mean any kind of wireless communication. At the moment, radios can communicate only with other radios of the same kind. Cognitive radios could understand the language of any radio. This, combined with new simple radios embedded in any object, would allow interact.
So here it's mentioning, they are mentioning with the IoT possibility again, and all the devices can communicate with any device. That's the ideology, like autonomous car, any IoT devices, any IoT equipments, TV, mobile users, all that will be connected to the single source. That's the ideology of current radio.
Between any physical objects. This could also provide solutions for communication between people of different languages and cultures. At the arena, Basil sees Pepper in the imperial box with the princess. Basil hears somebody coming. Suddenly, Basil is become part of the main.
Hello? Hello?
Event. He can't even lift his weapon. Running for his life, Basil pushes the panic button on his device. At a concert, a football game, or any big event with tens of thousands of people, the local network may get overloaded. With current spectrum usage limitations, the provided capacity just any big event with tens of thousands of people, the local network may get overloaded.
This is the issue which we are having now. Okay, like in 2015 there was a major outbreak of flood in Chennai. You might all know. On that time there was no communication from Chennai to other areas. Okay, I was in Chennai only. On the situation when we are trying to connect with the user, we can't able to connect. Most of the base stations was disabled. Okay, like it got shut down. Why I'm telling it shut down means all the base station will have more or battery backup of 8 hours on the situation. And nowadays also, if a current power shutdown is happening in any location, after 8 hours there won't be a power. Okay, if you are it's getting shut down by 3 o'clock now, it after 11 o'clock you won't be having a signal if a continuous power shutdown is happening. Okay, so on that situation, some of the base stations was working, which we enabled with a battery, with second source batteries, like Airtel and BSNL was moreover supporting on the signal on that side situation. But on that situation also, when we are trying to make the call, the networks didn't respond properly. It was giving a network busy as a solution, as the information. Why it is happening means all the users, like this situation, all the users are going to approach a single base station, but this base station is a queuing service. Like it will be like working on a queuing, like one by one it will be allowing. So when you are going to be in a queue, automatically if you are in a thousands or 100 or 1 lakh person on the base station, then you have to wait until the users should complete it. So who are the users available in the network should complete the call, and after that only my call will be connected. Okay, so that only will be happening with the previous technology. So here they are mentioning that same sequence, because why I'm mentioning the same situation of 2015 means that is a problem exactly happened. Because on the situation, some people couldn't be able to communicate. Due to that, some people were died also. Okay, because on the situation, government reported 435 people died on the flood. Okay, so it might be due to some death will happen due to the emergency happened with this problem also. Okay, so that was the exact problem happening in these networks. we can't able to make more because the spectrum is unavailable. We are using a limited spectrum. We have allocated the previous technology with the limited spectrum technology, but the counter going to replace that ideology only. How it is replacing that will be explained in this video again.
With current spectrum usage limitations, the provided capacity just isn't enough for all the users. Cognitive
If you see here, one user couldn't be able to get the signal. Okay, so common
radio can use all available frequencies and connectivity methods. It can quickly adapt.
So if you see here, now the connection is happened with all the devices. Even though the signal is not allocated to the base station, the signal is connected with one phone to nearby phone. Okay, the phone might be available. There might be a Wi-Fi. There might be a phone. There might be a TV spectrum. What all the spectrums are available? Because when the flood situation happened, we are only using most of 3G technology on that period. On that period, 3G technology we are using means we can't able to. We are not using other technology sources. Like on the same situation, GPS is there, Wi-Fi is there, and 2G frequency is there, 1G frequency is there. 1G frequency, lot of frequency response are there. TV's frequency are there. Those frequencies have not been used because on that situation, no one is using other frequency because all the frequencies have been disabled. All the frequencies are available. We are not using. So the counter is making that solution only. Okay, so it will make the spectrum to connect with the available frequencies. Even it might not be in the 4G, even it might not be in the mobile communication spectrum, which can be connectable. Okay,
to the unusual situation and ensure proper operation of the networks. The devices connect not only through the network cells, but also by forming spontaneous networks. This way, messages, phone calls, and even real-time video streams can be transmitted by many more users. One of Basil's friends finds information about the lion. This gives him an idea, and he tells everyone about his plan. A flashlight distracts the lion from the chase. Basil suddenly realizes this may be his opportunity. Success! The undefeated lion is caught. Basil has done the impossible. Basil is escorted to the winner's lounge to wait for the princess. Oh dear, this won't go well with the princess.
WLAN, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth frequency, and after WiMAX, and WiMAX is it's a high range telecast frequency data transmission ideology, which is not enabled until now in India. So this is a 4G enablement done in 2015 par. Okay, it's not available now. Record I didn't taken. It's a 2015 record which is enabled with 4G here, and here African countries it's not enabled with 3G also. Some areas like if you see here GSM is only enabled, and 3G technologies in African countries it's enabled more. And if you take India and China and Russia and other countries like European countries and all have been enabled with 4G technologies, but the African countries having lesser. Okay, so this is a frequency allocation of chart of US. Okay, how they have allocated frequencies for more or more applications. Okay, if you see these one, all the applications has been enabled. That as mentioned, this is a record taken from the US government site. So common radio, what it's going to do means whenever the frequency spectrum are free, it's going to allocate that one. Okay, but there is a problem in allocation. Okay, there will be a problem always in communication. I already told. So what's the problem means when a user having a frequency, if you just consider I am a Airtel user, another user is there, Geo user is there. So you just consider I am having a phone, I am trying to connect with through a Airtel network, and I am trying to reach a user. But on the situation, the Airtel network is not available. Okay. So on the situation, Airtel network is available, but the spectrum is not allocatable because already 1,000 users are there. That is the only possibility of that particular network base station. I am coming as another 1,000 first user means I can't able to connect on the situation, but I have to pass the information immediate. Okay, I'm not telling 1,001 user only having issue. Below me also some queued by persons will be there. So if you're considering the 1,001 user I am available, I have to connect means I can't able to connect. Okay, so these connection should be happen means I have to switch over to the another network and I have to connect, because on the same area, yeah, Geo is there. I'm just considering Geo for explanation. Okay, Geo is there, but Geo spectrum is not. I didn't bought Geo because I bought only Airtel. But if I connect to Geo, I can't able to connect. Okay, so what I have to do means I have to check what are the frequency slots are available in the location. So what I'll do, I am a primary user of my network. I'm going to search now. I'm going to secondary user as a searcher. Okay, so why I'm telling a secondary user, if I'm going to search the networks available like Geo is there, Idea is there, and Vodafone is there, and I'm going to search Geo is available, Vodafone is available, or Idea is there. I'm checking all the networks. In the three networks, Geo is available. I'm just considering. Okay, so if Geo is available means I'm going to reach out to Geo means automatically I have to request the Geo because I didn't pay him, but I'm requesting him to connect me. Okay, so Geo, what it will do means it won't give the connection immediately. The server will identify whether in that location any other user requirements are there for a primary user which are paid with Geo. Okay, so that they will check for the primary users availability. If the primaries are not available means then they will be allocating the signal. Okay, so that is the ideology of the counter radio. It's a base ideology. But what is the problem here means in future there might be billions of devices will be there, like IoT technology. In single home itself, we are having a Wi-Fi modem. With that, we can make a switch on of TV or tape recorder, whatever it is. We can connect with that single Wi-Fi device. So future, we will be having our full home automated with IoT. So in single free signal single home itself, there will be 10 devices, which is making a communication continuously, because IoT is a continuous communication will be happening between the device and the receiver. Okay, so automatically it will be happening. So in that situation, if you have a crores and crores of people in a country like India, then it will be multiplying, like crores and crores multiplied will be there. So multiple billions of devices will be generating multiple billions of information. So on that situation, if you consider here, there, like me, another user will be there. Okay, like a secondary user, me, like me, another user will be also searching the same Geo network. So what it will do, the Geo will try to allocate for a single user, but on the same situation, like me, another user will be there. So I have to analyze the another user spectrum power and my spectrum power. Automatically based on that, the server should allocate best frequency possibility to the user achievable. Okay, so that is the ideology about the counter networks. Okay, this might be a confusing ideology, but this is going to be the working ideology on future after 5 years, because 5G technology already the research already the outcomes has been proceeded, but in future the network will be defined with a single base. Okay, like in America it is happening. In America, if you consider there will be network like 5 years, one company will be taking the whole network. There won't be Geo, Airtel like the two networks. Okay, so only single network will be there. So like that proceedings will be coming in India also. The Geo is planning to that one only, because Geo's base ideology is take over the full market. This might be commenting the company, but I am telling that one because the core ideology is like that only. The CRN should be enabled means that should be happening with the connection between multiple companies, or a single company should take over a single state. Okay, if Tamil Nadu is available, Tamil Nadu, for that we have to allocate a single company, so that only we can get the possibility moreover. Okay, so for that only the community is working on. So here it's architecture where the primary user and secondary user making call. If I'm a primary user, I can make it the base station, one single base station. If a secondary user, I have to check whether the base stations are available. If it is available, I can make the call on the base stations. Okay. So the secondary users we have to make the call with this base station also, and it's also to check with the primary users also available in the local. So with that, the base station will conclude what is the user can be allocated to the power or not. But this power identification of this device, this base station, and another secondary device, all the things should be considered. For that, there will be algorithms. We can't able to analyze a spectrum with our simple visionary, because it's a multiple collided ideology. Because there will be problem with frequency, there will be problem with noise, there will be problem with channels, fading channels, LA fading, and there will be problem with mobile devices, the primary users, there will be problem with secondary users, there will be problem with the base stations. All the things should be considered to make a solution. Like there will be multiple antennas are available, means multiple antennas with these things also should be considered. So all these things will make a problematic situation. Okay, so these should be analyzed properly to make the solution. So the further research is going on. Okay, so this makes a final solution what is happening in the community networks. I have a demo of a single program which is making a water filling method for CRN for power analysis, power allocation. Here in this program, there will be 4 channel allocation in a network region. So if you see here in this one, initially the network power has been allocated with multiple subchannels with multiple allocation, because the users channels cannot be defined. So with that, power channels are available with the users that will be equalized. It's like matching over the average only, like, but it won't be happening the matching over average. It's based on time slots, because first time slot will be having 4 channel, means with this that 4 channel we have to equalize the power. The next time slot we have to analyze the next 4 channels, and with that you have to allocate equalize the power. Like that you have to do for every equalization. For that we have to estimate the first of all what is the power of the channel. Like power means uh, capacity of the channel. With that the capacity equation should be done. Okay, so here Shannon's channel capacity theorem will be used. So with that we have been equalizing the channels and the power will be allocated. With that, final power allocation will be done with the equalization. Okay, the equalization will be done with the previous channel comparison with the next channel. So with that it will be concluding this channel will be having issue. Okay, so if you this how it is happening, I'll show the diagram which is processed. This is a network that we created. It's a sample network for the visualization. The network won't be the same. It's a because in these, if you consider, there will be a randomized points. The same network won't be there again. These there will be centralized base station, and with that the randomized points will be allocated. With that, there is a this is I am considering as a Wi-Fi network. Okay, this network, the green color point, I'm considering as a 2G network or 3G or 4G network. Okay, so this 4G network, a user is available within this 2G network or 4G within this Wi-Fi network or 4G network will be analyzed. With that, the power will be estimated from this base station to this base station. How the power will be allocated, you can ask me. You are simply giving a theoretical information and you are writing a design and you are making solution. How it is possible? All the things are happening here randomized channels only. Okay, we'll be having formula for the AWGN and Rayleigh fading channels. With that formulas only we are creating the possibilities. You can ask we how will you test this one? You can how will be a solution will be appropriate for the real time? You can ask me. But in future, sorry, always the communication testing is not happening in the real time. Always it will be happening in a systems only. Okay, computer, we will be creating a network. On the network we will be analyzing that one. If it is suitably apt means, then only it will be gone to the real time, because everyone can't able to use check in this real time. This is not happening in a simple procedure, because you can't able to allocate 1,000 users for a single testing, okay, daily basis. So that is not possible. It's not possible. So only all the possibilities will be analyzed with the formulas, with the channels allocation and the user allocation and the base station, and which is the user's primary user region or secondary user region. So if the user is out of this box, means how to allocate with the next secondary user call. Okay, like a Wi-Fi network. If the base station is not connecting, how to connect these user with this network. So those things will be analyzed. So we will be accessing four channels. First 4 channels will be for the primary, and next for secondary analysis, and it will be equalized for with the water building methodology to give a solution. So that's it. If you have any questions, you can ask me now. It's already time up, so I have to close the session. If any people having questions, you can ask me.
Suppose if they use TV frequency for secondary users, what is the interference they will be facing?
Yes, madam. Actually, for that we have to make some considerations, like interference. What I'm telling is, like, primary user, for a single primary user there will be a primary user interference. Okay, because if I'm in a one network with the TV frequency also, I will be using the frequency to connect to the base station. So on the same situation, another user also will be there. So there might be interference with the primary user. The primary user to the secondary user interference will be there. Secondary user to the secondary user interference will be there. Okay, and multiple antennas are used means that will be multiplied. Okay, if first primary user having using 6 antennas, we just consider. Okay, so on the situation 6 antennas towards the secondary user having only 1 antenna, you consider. So automatically it will be 6 by 1 antenna with 100 primary users are available, means 100 primary user. So actually we have to define this network architecture. So that only we can define. So likewise there will be channel fading, so another that one. So after that finally we'll be having a Gaussian noise also. So these are all the 5 things will be the interference. There will be more interference also we can consider based on the network, because there might be antennas on the secondary user also. Secondary user might have 5 antennas or 6 antennas. So on the situation we have to consider 6 antennas with the primary user antennas. So it's all our calculation based on matrix only. So we have to define the matrix for each user. There will be a matrix definition that will be defined like the cosine plus sine, I sin theta, cos plus I sin theta, which is a signal. So with that we'll be defining the signal, and we will be making the allocation for the every users. Based on that, the interference, we have to make the formula with that multiplication formula. We have to define with the user, and we have to define this is the interference, and based on that we have to go to the channel capacity theorem. Then we are going means we will be getting a channel capacity, and after that we have to go some optimization algorithms. I'm just giving a basic introduction here. So further you have to go to further with the optimization algorithms, like genetic algorithm, similarity annealing, and anti colony. A lot of different algorithms are there for optimization itself. So for that you have to move on. So only you can get some full outcome. And I have given base introduction what's happening in the community. Any other people having questions? Okay, thanks for joining this session. I think it might be useful for you. I have given some brief introduction about these CRN. This is not the final ideology. It's like a 5 to 10% of overall concepts what has been defined. Plus, I have spoke more theoretically only, but the practical solutions will be having more problems. Okay, because what I told is I have told a simple thing with the possibilities theoretically, but the same thing if you want to implement it to mathematics, it will be more complex. So, if you go inside the paper studies, then you can get more information. You can go and search with CRN with IEEE, you can get more papers related to this, and more papers related with this one, and can more go on that one. There is more two types of papers will be there, more thing. Like one thing is like the papers will be uh, based on CRN with the channel capacity, and another type of papers will be based on CRN power allocation channel identification. Okay, so channel identification means which channel is capable of usage. I already told, right? The primary user will identify the possible channel. Secondary user will identify the possible channel is in another network. So that should be defined. So for that, the power identification formulas will be there, because the user might be nearby the user also, distant to the user also. The power should be analyzed with the multiple user scenarios. With that, we have to estimate the possible best power, so that it will be problematic. So on that also papers will be there. So that's it. Thanks for joining.
Thanks, sir. Thanks. Very nice presentation. Thank you
Sir.
very much.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, இந்த attendance form post பண்ணிடுறீங்களா sir chatல? Because the participants here have to fill that attendance form, sir.
Did you mention குமாரசாமி சார்ட்ட சொன்னீங்களா?
ஆமா சொன்னேன் சார். அவங்க வந்து உங்ககிட்ட சொல்ற மாதிரி தான் சொன்னாங்க.
That is participants available in Zoom வந்து YouTubeல இல்ல. அவங்க அதனால they may not be able to fill the attendance sheet.
Sir.
1 minute madam, நான் கால் பண்றேன்.
Okay, okay sir.
குமார் சார் கால் எடுக்க மாட்டேங்காங்க.
அப்படியே சார். ஆனா I have talked with him. He told that he will tell you to post the attendance form. What shall we do, sir?
1 minute madam. Now I have posted.
Oh, okay, sir. Thank you, sir. The participants, you can fill the attendance form here. Don't miss it. Only then you will get the certificate. Thank you, sir.
And 5 minutes open la viட்டுருக்கேன் மேடம், நீங்க காப்பி பண்ணிட்டு
சரி, ஓகே சார். ஓகே.
க்ளோஸ் பண்ணி.
Participants, please fill this attendance form.
Anyone copy that link? After that you can share. I'm going to end the meeting. Hello.